Hassan Piker is a Twitch streamer who regularly takes L's. He takes so many L's that you would probably think that that is his job, but no, unfortunately it is streaming. And I'm not talking about politically or any of the political side of anything, just some of his takes are so awful, and this one right here encapsulates it. So this take right here is something that I really want to talk about, and I'll show you the clip.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely.
Yes, the well-founded debate of whether YouTube or streaming is harder than the regular job. This has been going on for decades now. Not really, it's actually been going on for a few years, but you understand my point. I'm just making the jokes here. But this is a thing that always comes up a lot when YouTubers are talking, and within the space, people constantly talk about this. And I think that it's so BS. Like, it is not taxing on you as much as working 10 hours of customer service or working as a cashier or something. Like, that is so much more taxing and soul draining, having to deal with people, having to deal with bosses, having to deal with coworkers. Like, there's so many more things that factor into the soul suckingness of a job. Not only that, you've got construction work, things of that nature, which are physically taxing on your body, which suck the soul out of you, especially on a hot day working construction. It's hard to go out there and do everything. And, when you have a job to get quickly in construction, it's hard to do that. And, what about fast food, right? It's hard to do that. Working as a nurse, tell me working a 12-hour shift as a nurse is less soul sucking than working 8 hours, 6 hours as a streamer and come back, work that. How about Hassan goes and works that and tells me how hard it is? Like, you're constantly dealing with people and stuff like that, and it is like it's not the same. It's not the same at all. I understand you're constantly having a social interaction with someone, but it's across the screen and it's in a very different way from in person and from what you do, especially with Hassan. Hassan is like the last person that can talk about, oh, this is so draining. Half the time he's not even doing anything. He's just sitting there eating ramen or just going to the washroom. Like, he does absolutely nothing for half of his streams. I really don't think that it's like even coming close to each other. I think that most real jobs are much more taxing, much more soul sucking, and much more harder than, streaming or being a YouTuber. Like, yes, being a YouTuber, whatever, can be stressful, or streaming for, however long can, be taxing mentally, but you're not doing anything. Like, you're sitting there in your chair. You're sitting there in your room, in the comfort of your own home, in the warmth. There's absolutely nothing wrong that's happening. The only thing that's happening is that you're talking or you're doing whatever for 8 hours. Or, what I'm saying? Like, the constant of doing something for 8 hours is, yes, it's tough. I do agree. It could be tough in a way. Oh my gosh. But it's not tough in the same way as any real job would be. But anyways, Hassan actually goes on to try and double down and try and explain what he actually means and tries to, go into more detail about it. And here's the clip.
No, 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 no. Social battery wise, unless you're in retail, unless you're in fucking retail, it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm gonna die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job, okay? I'm telling you, as someone who did both, like 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me. But I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point. There are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people-pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type shit. But like, if you're an accountant or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited. way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it.
As you see here, he kind of just doubles down on his take and continues to say that his social battery goes down. And while I can understand this, yes, maybe for creators like, oh my gosh, sorry. I just burped there. My apologies. But I can understand this for creators like Jinxie or Queso, right? Yelling for 6 hours straight can definitely take a toll on you and, make you be very tired and, maybe drain you a bit. I can understand that for creators like those guys, right? Because they're constantly yelling, they're constantly putting on this big show, constantly doing something, right? Jinxie, Queso, Sketch, even maybe, right? Those guys I can completely understand, if they were to, somewhat say something like, yeah, it's tough because, I stream for 6 hours and for the whole 6 hours you're trying to keep energy high, you're trying to be up and do whatever. I understand that. I understand that to an extent, right? It can be a little bit draining to an extent, but at the same time, again, you're still in your house. You're still in the most comfortable place you can be. You're still working from home. You're still working without a boss, without coworkers, right? You're still working in a comfortable environment. You still have all these factors, right? There's really not much stress when you're streaming, right? Because I can understand a little bit of stress for a YouTube video, trying to get it out on time, trying to edit it in time, things like of those nature, right? Trying to keep your audience happy. In a sense, I can understand how YouTube would be stressful. But then again, you still have so many things that make it different as to where it cannot be the same as a real job. And it never will be, and it never will, anything amount to like a real job because it's not as taxing. You're in, like, again, with all these factors happening, you're in your own home. You're doing your own thing. You literally only have to worry about yourself, what you're doing, and trying to appease the people who are in your chat or the people watching your videos, whatever it is, whether it's YouTube or Twitch. At the end of the day, YouTube is a dream job for a reason, and that's because no boss, no coworkers, you work on your own time, you work anywhere in the world, you do anything you want. Like, this is a dream job for a reason. It is not as hard as any other job in the world, and it's easier than most jobs in the world because you have so much leisure with what you do, so much comfort with what you do, and you can legit do anything you want at any time you want. Like, you can, if you have a regular job, there's the thing about, being on time, heading there at the right time, then there's stresses about getting there, traffic, stuff like that. There's all these ulterior things as to, being working for a company and, getting, whether it's that or whether it's, handing something in on time, making sure you're on time with your papers. Like, let's say you're a journalist or something like that, or maybe you run your own business and you got to make sure you get all, certain things aligned, right? There's so many more things that come together with other jobs that are just way, way harder and generally on average just much more hard to do than YouTube or Twitch. And I'm sorry, it will never be that way, at least to me, and at least my opinion. Even from listening to YouTubers, even from anything, like, it's a dream job. And yes, it can be taxing to hustle and get so many YouTube videos out and do whatever, but that's just a part of it. That's a part of life. It's part of having a job. It's part of doing stuff, right? And you're gonna have that with jobs. But it is so much easier to sit in my bed, sit in my home, sit in wherever I want, editing a video, making a video, recording a video, doing whatever. It is way easier to do that than to go out into the world and actually, do a manual job like that. But anyways, guys, that's my opinion. Let me know what you think down below and whether this was a W or an L.
I got diamonds on my chain, yo bitch giving me some brain. I feel bad, see replay, juice for all girls all the same. Hearts on fire, no propane, all my shooters got the aim. Shooting shots up in your face, baby tell me how they taste. Bitches tryna find me like my name is Nemo, cause I shoot my shot like LeBron, shoot his free throw. I got ice, yeah I'm cold like a cappuccino. I got bars, yeah I'm hard like a jalapeno. Pulling with up with the Glocks.